You've asked yourself this before, probably half asleep, staring at the ceiling. Where do you actually go when you sleep? Here's the answer nobody tells you, and it's stranger than any place you could have imagined. You don't go anywhere. You don't leave. Something else happens instead, right where you already are. And by the time it's finished, you're not entirely the same person who lay down.
Because here's what makes that so strange. Going unconscious is one of the riskiest things an animal can do. A gazelle that sleeps too deeply on open ground is an easy kill. A sloth that loses awareness too long in a low branch becomes someone else's meal. You do this anyway, every night, for close to a third of your existence. Over a full lifetime, that adds up to roughly 26 years spent completely gone from the world around you. If sleep were only about saving energy, evolution had plenty of time to invent something safer. It never did. Which means whatever is happening to you at night matters more than your own safety. Frigate prove exactly how far nature will go to avoid this. These seabirds can fly for weeks over open ocean without ever landing, and researchers found they sleep mid-flight, shutting down one half of the brain at a time while the other half keeps them airborne and steering. Nature gave frigatebirds a way to sleep without disappearing. You don't get that option. When you go under, all of you goes under completely every night. So if it isn't rest, and it isn't a place, what is it actually doing to you back there? In 1953, researchers Nathaniel Kleitman and Eugene Aserinsky were watching sleeping infants when they caught something odd. Beneath closed eyelids, the baby's eyes were darting rapidly. Their brain activity wasn't slowing down. It was spiking. They named it REM sleep, the stage behind your most vivid dreams. During REM, your brain runs at nearly waking intensity, but your body goes limp, deliberately paralyzed, so you can't act out whatever is happening inside your skull. Which tells you something important. You're not visiting anywhere during REM. Your brain is just running at full power with the door locked from the inside. Which raises an obvious problem. If you're not going anywhere, why do dreams feel exactly like somewhere? Hallways, oceans, childhood houses that don't exist anymore, entire cities your brain builds out of nothing. During REM, the visual centers of your brain light up almost as if your eyes were open and processing a real scene, while the logical fact-checking part of your brain goes quiet. So your brain builds a fully rendered environment, and there is almost nothing left online to tell you it isn't real. That's the trick. The feeling of travel is manufactured entirely in place. No part of you actually leaves the room. Your brain just builds a convincing enough set that you believe it did. In the 1980s, neuroscientist Giulio Tononi proposed why sleep isn't mainly for resting your brain. It's for editing it. Every waking second, your brain strengthens connections. Every face, every conversation, every notification leaves a slightly stronger trace. Left unchecked, the system would overload, like a hard drive with no space left to write. Tononi's synaptic homeostasis hypothesis says sleep is the nightly cleanup. Weak connections get cut, strong ones survive. Every single night, without your permission, your brain decides what earns the right to remain part of you. Researchers at the University of Wisconsin tested sleep-deprived animals in 2003 and found they could still absorb new information fine. What broke down was the sorting afterward, and brain scans later showed something else. During deep sleep, cerebrospinal fluid pulses through the brain in slow waves, physically flushing out waste, including proteins tied to Alzheimer's. You're not going anywhere at night. Your brain is operating on itself while you hold still, and for a small number of people, that operation doesn't just get interrupted. It stops completely. What happens to them answers the title of this video more than anything else you've heard so far. There is a rare genetic condition called fatal familial insomnia. People born with it sleep normally for most of their lives, until, usually in midlife, their brain slowly loses the ability to let them sleep at all. Not insomnia, like staying up too late. A complete, permanent shutdown of the process. Patients slip into a strange in-between state, neither fully awake nor asleep, unable to reach the stage where the brain does its nightly editing. Memory unravels. Personality changes. Without treatment, most patients die within 1 to 3 years of the first symptoms, not from the lack of rest itself, but because the brain can no longer perform the maintenance it depends on to keep functioning at all. Doctors studying these cases reached an uncomfortable conclusion. You don't sleep to feel good. You sleep because the alternative is losing yourself entirely, permanently, with nothing left to edit you back together. Even in ordinary sleep, that editing reaches further than most people assume. Researchers at Harvard Medical School found emotional memories get replayed while you sleep, but not accurately. Some get softened, some get sharpened. Fear, embarrassment, grief, attraction, all quietly reprocessed while you're unconscious. The person who wakes up tomorrow is not emotionally identical to the one who fell asleep tonight. You didn't approve that edit. It happened while you were gone, or more accurately, while you were still right here, just not watching. One more thing most people don't know. The way you sleep isn't how humans have always slept. Historian Roger Ekirch found over 500 historical references to segmented sleep, buried in medieval court records, diaries, and old medical texts. For most of human history, people slept in 2 blocks instead of 1, asleep shortly after dark, awake for an hour or 2 around midnight to talk or pray, or sit by candlelight, then back asleep until sunrise. So if you've ever snapped awake at 2 a.m. convinced something was wrong with you, it might just be an old pattern your body never unlearned. Artificial light erased it. Work schedules erased it. Your nervous system is still ancient. Your environment isn't. And in 2022, the CDC found more than a third of American adults chronically sleep-deprived, with anxiety, depression, obesity, and heart disease rising right alongside it. So, where do you go when you sleep? Nowhere. That was always the twist. You don't leave, and you don't visit some other place. You stay exactly where you are, while something inside you quietly disassembles the day, keeps what earns its place, and deletes the rest. The version of you that gets up tomorrow will share your face, your memories, your name, but its emotional wiring has shifted. Its weak connections are gone. Its strongest ones were reinforced without asking your opinion. You didn't go anywhere last night. You just weren't fully present for your own renovation. So next time someone asks where you go when you sleep, tell them the truth. You don't go anywhere. You just don't stay the same. Let me know in the comments if that answer is creepier than you expected.